Hey guys, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelly and I make art videos. So in today's video, we're going to be doing a JAWS sketchbook tour video. This video has been 5 years in the making. I've had this sketchbook since 2018. But before we get into that video, I just wanted to let you know that there is a music-only version of this tour for those of you who do not like voiceover sketchbook tours. Sometimes they can get a little rambly, and if you're not into that, the music-only video is up now, and I will link that in the video description. And without further ado, let's just start the tour. So for the cover here, I have a video of me painting this cover, and I will leave that linked in the video description below. Okay, so on the first page here, I have some shells that I painted last summer, along with some bookmark tests and negative painting that I was trying to do. And on this spread, I tried painting from life for the first time, and I have a video on this as well. I will leave all the videos linked regarding the sketchbook that I can find in the video description. And on this page, I have some orcas that I decided to have floating in the clouds, and I think it goes pretty cool as a spread together. Okay, so on this page, I have some clay pin ideas that I wanted to try out. I still might do these, I'm not quite sure. And for this one, I think this was the video where I tried cling film for the first time with watercolor, and I really like how this came out. I will leave that video linked in the description as well. And on this spread, I have something, a little skull of a raven that I was trying to do. It's not quite finished, but I thought I would tape it in here and just kind of make this a bird page. This is basically a dodo bird. I was trying out one of these rainbow pencil type deals. I'm not sure if I officially like it or not, but it was a fun experiment. And then I decided to try to add some wing studies in here since this was a bird page. And on this spread, I was trying to experiment with, I would put the water drops on the page first, and then I would add the paint to the water drops, and I was trying to see how they would dry. I feel like it was interesting, but it wasn't quite as amazing as I thought it would be, so this is just kind of like an experimental page. And here we have another fish, and I don't really care for this one. I don't know, I just kind of abandoned it and I didn't come back to it, so we'll just leave it here. And this is when I was experimenting with a bunch of water studies, and I have a video for this as well, and it's the first time that I was trying the SENNELIER watercolors, and I have a video on this as well that should be linked in the video description. This was a really fun spread. I had a lot of fun making this one. I'm a sucker for a cool palette, so I really like painting water. And on this page, it is just a total mess, this entire spread. I mean, this was me testing out the rainbow pencil that I had. And so this was just like an experimental page, and I was suffering from severe art block here, and I just couldn't, I was trying to draw foxes and I just couldn't get my hand and my brain to cooperate. So I ended up taking a class with Erin Blaze, and that page is coming up soon, so you will see the improvement on the fox drawing there. This spread here, I had some extra paint in my palette, so I just made a bunch of blobs, and then I came back and did these doodles on top of them later. And on this spread, it was a cloud study and a color study. I think this was for my self-portrait that unfortunately never got finished, but I was kind of experimenting with how to paint clouds with watercolor and gouache and picking out a color palette for that. And this is the page where I got over my art block, because right after I did the Very Ugly Foxes, I went and I took, I think Erin Blaze had a how to draw foxes and wolves and coyotes class for like $1 that week, so I bought it, and as you can see, I greatly improved with that. This is one of my favorite pages, and I have a couple of videos on this as well, one with music and one with a TMI tag. But I just overall really like the pen and watercolor combination on this page. Here are some more fox gesture drawings from Erin Blaze's class continued, and I painted an eye and watercolor here. And I think, yes, I have a video on this one as well, so it will be linked in the video description with the rest of them. This was a watercolor versus Inktense experiment. I really diluted the Inktense for this one because I just wanted to see if I could get Inktense to behave like watercolor. And I do also have a video on this as well. And on this spread, I was doing some anatomy practice, and I believe this was also a video. I apparently made a lot of videos from this sketchbook, so like I said, I will do the best I can on leaving all the individual videos in the video description below, but I really like how these turned out and still pretty happy with this spread. This spread here is just some color tests, and I was trying to see how my new watercolors behaved on this paper and which ones granulated and how they layered and things like that. This spread here is a gouache spread. I was really trying to get the hang of gouache here. I don't really care for this one. I had a lot of fun doing this one, but as you can tell, I do tend to lean towards the cool color palettes, so I don't typically paint with a lot of reds and yellows and oranges, so I always tend to lean towards the cooler palettes. This spread here, this was with coffee, and I was really trying to make a poster with all of these little witchy things. Like I was gonna draw a feather and a jar of bat fangs and stuff like that, and this ended up being the magical ship project that I'm still continuing to work on. I will leave that playlist linked in the video description below if you'd like to check that out. This spread is quite the hot mess. It's a little bit of an abstract kind of thing. This one here, it's basically a seascape that I never finished and kind of abandoned, but I kind of like the look of because I feel like it's a little bit more abstract. This here on this page was an ink test. I was trying to figure out how the ink worked with the acrylic copper and the salt, and I don't really like how this came out, so I'm really glad I tested it in my sketchbook first. And on this spread here, I was debating on trying to start Inktober 52, and the first prompt was fresh, and I obviously like to have a little bit of a fantasy twist, so I made it a poison apple. I had a poison apple idea and I wanted to test that out, but I never officially started Inktober 52 because I took myself out of it because I obviously need to finish my magical ship project before I start anything else. And this spread is one of my favorites. I really enjoyed this page here, and I had a lot of fun doing some negative painting, and I really like how the water ripples worked, and I don't know, I just had so much fun doing this one. And on this spread, I tried to play with some patterns and some gold and stars and leaves and just experimented a little bit. And on this page, I absolutely love the way this turned out and how the cauliflowers and the water blooms and all of that came out. And I also did a colored pencil on this page. I don't think I have a video on this, but I do have a reel on Instagram, I think. I'm not very active on there, but it is up if you want to go check it out. This is probably one of my, this one and this one I think are my two favorites from the sketchbook, though I really do like my wolf also. It's just been so long ago. In this spread here, I was trying to do some watercolor tests and ended up with these two color combinations. I have an idea for a phone wallpaper that I want to finish, and I'm going to be doing that one next. So I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's basically just an experiment, a color experiment, and I'm really excited with how that turned out. This page here is also a little bit unfinished, but I had just put a really nice cool and earthy palette together with in my portable painter that I got for Christmas, and I was just kind of like testing out the colors and trying to see how it worked, but I ended up abandoning this page anyways. This spread here, I also have a video on this. I believe I was recovering from art block again because, you know, why not? And I am pretty happy with how this page came out. I like the water and the flow of it and everything, and the splatters. It's very watercolorish to me, so I really do like how this page came out. And on this page we have some more color tests. Nothing too crazy or special. I think I was just trying to test out a color palette for a piece that I didn't end up doing because I don't think I liked the result of the color tests. And here on this last spread, I have my latest video that you might have seen, and I'm really happy with the result of this spread as well. And I also have another bookmark negative painting test that I had decided to just tape in the back of the book just for fun. And that is all for this sketchbook tour, you guys. Took me almost 5 years to complete it, but we did it. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next one.